Welcome to today's Redefining Stress meditation. I'm your facilitator, Jill Wardell. Before we get started in today's meditation, I'd like to begin by reflecting a bit on stress. We all have experienced stress, but how often do we stop to think about what we mean when we say we're stressed? What is stress? Where does it live? How does it get created? Is it a body thing? Is it a mind thing? Is it something that exists in our emotions? It's abstract, isn't it? It's something that we all experience differently. What stress is to me may be very different from what stress is to you. From a mindfulness perspective, stress is the experience of being here and wanting to be there. It's often linked to conditions and expectations that we hold about wishing life or situations could be other than they actually are. There's a great equation that is useful to understand this truth. S equals P times R. Suffering equals pain times resistance. What we know is that pain is part of life. We cannot avoid it. It is inevitable. It's absolutely true. However, what is not unavoidable, that is, what we can avoid, is our resistance to the suffering, to the pain. When we resist the pain, that's how we actually create the suffering. It's when we learn how to embrace and move through and redefine our pain that we can be free of suffering. We can start to reclaim wellness as our birthright, and we can learn to be with situations as they are, generating a new ability to skillfully move through both the peaks and the valleys of our lives. In this mindfulness meditation, we will be exploring an area of stress for you and hopefully redefining it as well. So this is going to be a guided meditation. I will be talking more in this meditation than in others. Just follow the sound of my voice. So I'd like us to begin by getting into a nice upright posture, one that encourages wakefulness and concentration. You can simply sit in a hard-backed chair with your feet on the floor and your hands in your lap. And then I invite you to close your eyes and begin by taking some long, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Feeling yourself in this moment. And letting go of anything that is keeping you from being here. So I'd like to take a moment for you to identify a thought that is creating some suffering for you. It may be a recent experience that you had that you didn't like. It may be stress that you're feeling right now around work, having too much to do. It may be challenges in a relationship that you're currently having. And I'm going to ask you a series of questions. I invite you to simply be with these and allow what shows up to show up without any judgment. Holding each answer or multiple answers with curiosity and lightness. Oftentimes when we meditate, we want an anchor for our attention. And the anchor can be a breath, it can be sound, it can be body sensations, emotions, thoughts. In this meditation, the questions themselves are the anchor. So as I ask you the question, and I'll ask you each question several times, allow the answers that come up to simply arise without pushing or judgment or resistance. Just allow what arises to arise. And then you'll come back to the question again. So holding that thought, the thought that's creating stress for you, I'd like you to ask yourself, is it true? Is the thought true? So say the thought is too much work or not able to get to everything. Is that thought true? Is it true, this thought that's creating stress for me? And now I'm going to ask you to go a little deeper. Is it really true? Is this thought really true everywhere in your life? Does it permeate the whole of your existence? Or does it just show up in certain domains? Where is it now in the present moment? Is it even here? Or is it a past thought? Or a thought about the future? Noticing how not being in the present moment may be the thing that is creating suffering. So thinking of that thought, I want you to ask the question, how do I feel about my life when I think this thought is true? How do I feel about my life? What's possible? The things that I do? What I'm able to accomplish when I think this particular thought, this stressful thought, is true? How do I feel about my life when I think this is true? And then a different flavor. How do I feel about myself when I think this thought is true? Do I see myself as capable, competent, reliable, worthy, whatever thoughts show up? Or not? How do I feel about myself when I think this thought is true? Allowing whatever shows up to show up. No judgment. And then the next question. Who would I be without this thought? That is to say, if I could let this thought go as being the truth of my experience right now, who would I be? Who would I be without this thought running the show? How might I be? Who would I be without this thought? Seeing yourself. Maybe it's a visual of yourself. Doing life, being in relationship newly without this thought running the show. And then another question. Thinking of this thought, the stressful thought, we've bought into for a long time. We actually have stopped questioning whether it's true. We have just bought it hook, line, and sinker. Now this question. What else might be true? What else might be true? Is there another truth that could carry as much weight as this one, that would be more life-affirming? What else might be true? What have we not considered? What other possibilities exist beyond this one? Now, oftentimes we have phenomena that show up in our lives, and that is the facts of life. Maybe we work a certain amount of hours, we have a fight with our partner, our child is going through cancer treatment. And then there's the interpretation of those things, and that's what creates the stress. So how else might we interpret this situation? I'd like you to think of an alternate truth you might tell about the same situation. One that is life-giving, affirmative, hopeful. What other truth might you tell about this situation? We are all storytellers about our experience. Not one person will have the same experience as the next person because of the storyteller that they are. The story or the frame that we put around our experience has a direct impact on our lives, on the quality of our happiness, joyfulness, or on the quality of our suffering. What alternate truth might you tell about this same stressful situation? One that actually loosens the grip. One that makes you feel that more is possible. One that has you in the driver's seat and not the situation. It's like the end of victimization. It's realizing that we are actually always co-creating our experience. Imagining that alternate truth, seeing it as if it's real. Perhaps coming up with a phrase, a replacement phrase for the stressful thought. Perhaps if it's something around work, it's something around feeling like I have everything that I need to do to accomplish what is important. Or I am enough, I have enough, I do enough. Maybe around our relationship with a partner, maybe it's I know that what is moving through us is seasoning us, enriching us, the form that this relationship is. We don't necessarily need to control it. Maybe if it's around illness, it's having faith that the right solution, the right healing will happen in perfect timing. Whatever that is, just allow yourself to focus on that for a couple breaths. And feel the impact of the new thought on the rest of your thoughts about yourself, about life, on your emotions that you're feeling right now. Any sensations in the body, how those are changing. And as a final thought, I'd like us to actually remember something that Emily Dickinson once said, which is that I dwell in possibility. If we are going to dwell on anything, if we're going to make up a story about anything, a story that can help us redefine our experience of stress, why not dwell in more spacious quarters? Why not open things up to see other possibilities, other ways of looking at any situation that allow us to breathe more, live more, experience each other more fully. At any moment, we can dwell in possibility. At any moment, this is a choice that is available to us, and that choice serves. Namaste.